rapping 24/7. Every day I'm on top of my game. Every day I'm on top of my game.
Hey everybody, this is Sean B. Bradley, CEO of Dealer Synergy, and you know what time it is. It's Make Money Mondays, people. Let's make that money! All right, I'm hyped. You know why? Because I am here for you. I am here to help you sell more cars more often and more profitably. You know what? And I got to tell you, you know what it starts with? It starts with you. Listen, man. Ladies, gentlemen, it starts with you. If you don't believe that you are going to be successful, it's never going to happen. Okay? You can't have other people constantly coming up to you and saying, hey, you know what? You're going to be successful. You're a rock star. You're a shining star. You're the best. You're absolutely the best. You know why? Because other people have got to focus on themselves. You've got to be the master of your own destiny. And I got to tell you this right now. Who is going to work harder for you than you? Nobody. Nobody's going to. Now, maybe when we're children, our mommies, our daddies, our guardians, you know, we're supposed to take care of us. But as adults, as professionals, it's got to be you. You have to be the one that cares about your success more than anybody else. Because bottom line is this, no videos you're going to watch, Make Money Mondays, whatever, you know, Tuesdays, you know, whatever, Wednesdays, Thursdays, it doesn't matter if you don't want to be successful. You have to want to make money. If not, I can't help you. Watching all these videos is not going to help you. So let's start with you. What do you want in your life? What do you want to do? If this is not the right career for you, then you know what? You need to find something else. Okay? Because this career is beautiful, but it's also brutal. What do I mean by that? It's that this career, you can make as much money as you can earn. I'm going to repeat that again because I love saying that out loud. You could make as much money as you can earn, but the catchphrase is as you can earn. It's not as much money as you can take or as much money as you can just make. It's you can make as much money as you can earn. Earn. Is there a special effect? Can you go earn in this video? Because that's what I want to like resonate in everybody's mind. You have to earn it. You have to go and strive to be successful or else you're never going to be successful. So now, Sean, what are you talking about? I'm confused here. I'm talking about success. Success has to start with you, the viewer, the audience. And if you're watching this, you've got at least a little bit of interest. So now, what do you need to do? Here's one of the first tips. Identify your SWOT. SWOT. What is SWOT? Not SWAT a fly. I'm not talking about SWOT, W-A-T, like the, FBI, I'm talking about SWOT, S-W-O-T. Stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Threats meaning challenges. Everybody needs to know what their personal SWOT is. Okay, strengths. For example, what are you good at? What are your passions? I'm going to go through my SWOT, okay? So for me, some of my strengths are I love to talk. Talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. So I love to talk. That's one of my strengths. I love to communicate. I love to speak. I love to be heard. I love to... You know what? Some people might even argue that I like the sound of my voice. I'm not saying that I do, but I love to talk. I love to communicate. Get the picture? Okay, what are my strengths? You know what? I love to be able to utilize digital marketing. I think it's a really good strength of mine that I feel comfortable with videos and video optimization and social media. I love that. I love, some of my strengths are be able to identify and qualify. Those are some strengths. Some of the strengths and skills I have is, how to utilize objections and rebuttals and my word tracks. Another strength is I've got a ridiculous mind when it comes to numbers. Statistics, quotes, data, figures. I'm like Rain Man in my head. I got those numbers. I can spit them out. Opportunities. Whew! Opportunities are limitless. As a chief executive officer of a national company, I have the opportunity to speak all over the country. I've got the opportunities to turn around and influence a tremendous amount of people. I have the opportunities to generate revenue on different, areas. Now, let's go into weaknesses. This is always the hard one, folks. This is the hard one, and this is the one you've got to be honest with yourself with. Some of the weaknesses that I have, sometimes patience. Sometimes I don't have, a lot of patience. A weakness of mine is sometimes I overreact. Dr. Covey says that between stimulus and response, we've got the freedom to choose. I know this. I'm a Franklin Covey trainer, but sometimes, something happens and boom, I react. And I'm like, oh, why did I say that? Oh, I shouldn't have done that, and I've got to deal with the consequences. But that is a weakness, is that I'm so reactive. A weakness is that I absolutely have an attention deficiency disorder. You know what I mean? Like, my mind is always focused on a whole bunch of different things, you know? So I have certain weaknesses. A couple weaknesses that people might not even know is that I'm really not good on certain things, like Excel and that type of stuff, which is normal executives are. I've never been good at that. I'm a car salesman. I'm not a trained corporate CEO. I'm a car salesman that made it, you know, into the corporate world. Now, weaknesses, you've got to really understand your weaknesses. And I've got a bunch more, I'm sure, but those are the ones that are enough for camera. Now, threats. What does threats mean? Threats means challenges. That could be myself. I know that I've got certain challenges, okay? But here's a couple of things that I have that are challenging. Because of my business, I'm on an airplane once a week. So I cannot really do certain things. Like there's certain educational programs, like actually, you know, going back to school to finish my degree and all the other stuff. I wanted to actually go physically. I don't want to go online. I can't really do that right now in my life, just specifically because I'm on an airplane and my schedule is totally erratic. Certain things I wanted to do with our church in Medford, New Jersey, I can't do because there's programs that are a couple days, and I can't do it because I'm flying, I'm traveling. So my schedule and my flight patterns are a challenge. Not necessarily a threat, but a challenge. Okay, now, what other threats do I have? Well, I've got haters. Listen to me. Whenever you're really doing well, you've got people that are trying to sabotage you, lie, manipulate, and do that stuff. And I've got legitimate, like, haters. I actually got somebody right now that we have to basically get a restraining order. It's crazy, you know what I mean, because, you know, people are a little bit mentally unstable. But it is what it is. So I've got challenges and I've got threats as well. Now, why am I aware of all this stuff? I want to identify my strengths, my weaknesses, my opportunities, and my threats meaning challenges. Why? Because my strengths, folks, you know what I want to do? I want to maximize my strengths. Like, for example, for me to make more money in dealer synergy and hit my goal of $100 million, what do I need to do? I need to be all over the place. I'm speaking at multiple state associations and 20 group associations and international associations. So I'm going to leverage my strength of being a strong public speaker in the National Speakers Association to perpetuate and propel my business. I'm going to, you know, literally cling to my strengths because, you know, I'm not saying I'm a rock star, but I'm just using the analogy. Any rock star, you can't turn around and just cut an album and hope to go, you know, multi-platinum or diamond unless you're an anomaly. Usually you have to go on tour. You have to go on tour. You got to go on tour. So for me, as a, you know, public speaker, I need to maximize my strengths and I need to turn around and go on tour and let the whole automotive industry in and out of this country hear me speak. That's how I'm going to grow my businesses. Okay, so that's also transitions to some of my opportunities. What other opportunities do I have? Whew. Mash, you know, collaborating with people. Right now, I'm working with a whole bunch of different people in the industry. This is something I never did before. For a long time, it was just Sean V. Bradley, and that was that. But you know what I'm doing right now? I'm actually working with Jim Ziegler. I'm now, you know, working really hard at all of his internet battle plans. So on top of doing everything else I'm doing, I'm collaborating, and that's a huge opportunity. Jim is actually helping me on my book. It's not a business book, it's a book of my life. It's going to go through all the questions people have, how I made it to where I'm at today. Jim is actually helping me structure the book and a whole bunch of other stuff. Now I'm also working with Ralph Paglia, you know, from Automotive Digital Marketing and, you know, Dealer Elite. Whew, huge opportunity that I'm working with this other Leviathan in the industry. And I'm also working very, very tightly with Peter Martin and Cactus Sky and E-Rep Builders. Huge opportunity, you know, for myself and Dealer Synergy to work with another mega entity. And then, you know, obviously I have a huge opportunity that I'm maximizing with Auto Success Magazine. Now, weaknesses. I mentioned before, patience, overreacting. I've got to work, I've got to focus. You know, every day I've got to literally just, you know, focus that, you know, got to have patience. And I've heard this phrase before, and oh my gosh, I'm living it right now. You know, you can't just pray to God for patience, because he's not going to just give you patience. He's going to give you a tremendous amount of opportunities to be patient in. I'm going to repeat that. You can't just want and pray to God for patience and expect him just to give you patience, like poof, there you go, Mr. You know, non-patient, you know, neurotic person. You now have patience. No. You know, if you have faith, which I do, he's going to give you a ton of opportunities for you to practice patience. And that kind of bleeds me into, the threats meaning challenges. I'm my own worst enemy, from my, neuroticness or just multitasking and doing 50 million things and, all that other stuff. So I need to work on me when I'm myself being a challenge. My schedule is very crazy, and that can be a challenge and turn into a threat. So I have to have proper time management. I've got to really embody and personify, and perpetuate the Franklin Covey, strategy. Because if not, I will be, disintegrated by my crazy workload and my flight routes and my, traveling so much. And then threats having, parasitic people, attacking, directly or indirectly. I'm not going to let that get to me. You know what I mean? I have to just acknowledge, the little cyber terrorists and the haters and the stalkers and all that stuff out there. And just understand, just flick them off like they're fleas. You know what I mean? That's it. Stop on these little cockroaches, And just, I can't really stress that. So now, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. As a professional, you have to know what your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats are. You need to know what your strengths are so you can maximize them, utilize them, and evolve your strengths. You need to be very cognizant and very honest with yourself on what your weaknesses are. And get help. Help, whether it's internal recognition or you're seeking outside help for your weaknesses, whether they're skills, their strategies. And then, it's very important, okay? Opportunities. Maximize your opportunities, create opportunities, leverage your strengths to maximize your opportunities. Threats and challenges, identify and neutralize them. Now, let me just bring it back and we're going to end this week's Make Money Mondays. Making money starts with you. You've got to want to be successful. You've got to know you're going to be successful. And you've also got to be real with yourself. And to do that, just acknowledge your SWOT, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Sean V. Bradley, and I'm here for you. I cannot wait to share in your success. Let's make that money. It's Monday, people.